The train headed for Sunset City will be departing soon.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sunset City, a Sonic podcast for the classic and modern age. Over here on the far left, I have a dog that's going through something of an animal identity crisis.
I am Penguin now.
All right. And next to him, we have our favorite green boy, also who has been just wringing his freaking throat muscles dry with acidic body juices.
No. He's not here today.
Oh. And next to him, we have our favorite cat girl man thing that has taught me how tags on YouTube videos actually work and stuff. So yeah, thanks for that. How's it going, sirs?
Hello, Wayne. Hi.
Hi.
We're going to a funeral later? Holy cow.
And I'm Wayne. So hey guys, how are we doing this morning?
I'm a penguin. Honk honk.
I'm not really properly primed for this episode.
Honk.
Anyway,
that was a good joke.
Guys, of course, thank you already for the super chats. We will be not showing those off. We'll be talking about them at the end of the episode, so please stick around till then so we give you the proper time it deserves to discuss.
So
that's the end of the episode then, guys.
Yep, well, we're done.
Thank you all for coming.
We're here to take the super chats now and be on our way. Thank you very much.
We're all so goddamn tired today, aren't we?
I did stay up way too late playing Fortnite and then trying to finish up our audio. Oh, that's a fun little thing I should mention to anybody, because I know it's been a problem for months now, and I'm so sorry. We have finally updated everything for audio, and we're going to stay on top of that every week going forward. So if you miss an old episode, if you want to go to your favorite podcast service, somebody needs to check an Apple thing for me. I don't know if it's working or not yet. We're still having problems with it, but it's solvable. We're further along than we were before if it's not working. But outside of that, every episode of the show is now up on every podcast service out there.
Hey.
Also, keep an eye out for more episodes of Sunset City Arcade highlights. That's a regular thing now.
I think that was
We realized, oh shit, we play video games together sometimes. Maybe we should record that.
And we're really, really funny.
Yeah, that's
don't-
been a fun thing we've been doing. We've been streaming gameplay a lot more, mostly Fortnite so far. Maybe it might be a fun idea to just kind of run a poll on some other games they'd like to see us play sometime. But yeah, I think that's something that we might be doing a little more frequently.
Yeah. And today, I'm getting my black suit.
Attaboy. What do we want to grind for that after the show?
If you guys want to do that.
Oh my
yeah.
god, he's finally gonna get to fucking Fortnite.
God damn it.
So, I don't know if we really have too much in the way of news. We did have a Blue Justice trailer show up for Sonic 2, which is fun. A couple new things here or there, but I mean, it's mostly there just to ride off the spiked coattails of Batman there.
Oh,
But
yeah,
even
you can-
so,
that's a good piece of marketing. I mean, also, I'm a penguin because I just watched the Batman, and the penguins in it.
I can't wait for these other two to discuss it. Guys, let us know if you want
we
us
need to do an episode.
Yeah, let us know if you want us to do another little side story. I don't know what we call that, our non-Sonic stuff. I really want to talk
tangents.
Batman.
Like the last podcast that was themed after a non-Sonic character was called The Big Tangent.
Why don't we call it Sunset Off-Road?
We'll figure that out. This is for off-air conversation. We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Trey Nobles, shit's her favorite dads / husbands. Have all kinds of fetishes.
Oh no, I'm more of a daddy than a husband, but like, yeah.
I feel that.
Oh, you have me down as a daddy? Nice.
No.
I hate
Listen
that.
to my voice. No.
Yeah, you do. Don't disrespect me, Nick.
He's finally trying to pull me into that particular category of flirtation.
It's the beard.
I don't understand what life decisions I made that got me here, but I question this every day.
For the
Man,
blue,
Don't act like you're above us.
the blue
I'm not.
justice.
Oh
Pup,
yeah,
you did share us a thing here.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was trying to get back on track with Sonic because Pup
Oh,
did
right.
show us the Blue Justice little.
Yeah.
Actual
Yes,
spotlight.
this was in London, Leicester Square last night, which was obviously the premiere of the Batman. Yeah, like that's a great piece of marketing right there. Oh, you need to shrink me, Nick. I'm a little too big.
What on earth did you do, Pup? No.
I became a real pup,
Oh boy. All right.
and I got a little teddy
Oh,
bear.
I just grabbed
Identity
grabbed this.
crisis.
Careful with the table there.
Careful with the goods.
There we go.
Careful with my.
He even had the accent and everything.
That is such a sweet face. My goodness.
It is. It really is.
Man, it's actually the Blue Justice thing is not that far off. I remember they also did some kind of like little promotional thing. It was like the red pill, blue pill thing when The Matrix was coming out.
Yeah.
Um,
Not unusual for more lighthearted movies to kind of do parody promotion.
I remember the other one I remember doing something kind of like that was Deadpool was having fun
Oh,
with
yeah.
that. Which that makes sense. But I also feel like that's kind of in line for Sonic. I mean, that's something I feel like his marketing always was. It's not so much in direct competition now, but that's kind of what it was like back in the day. And so much of the advertising for it was just like, here's what the other guys have, here's what we have.
Mhm.
And that's not so much what this is now, but there is something to be said about like, Sonic is still kind of advertising itself from time to time, just kind of like poking fun at other properties.
Yeah. It's just, easy promotion. It's cute. It's funny. I like it. But we're not talking about the movie today. We're talking about one of the projects that's been announced for a while now, but we have not heard much about, and we might just keep doing prediction episodes until we get more information for all this stuff. But Sonic Prime, we kind of haven't heard anything about that for a long time. They announced a Knuckles show. They've they just really haven't given us much of anything about it. So we figured today we'll kind of predict what we expect from it, since that's all we can really do.
And it makes sense that they wouldn't have said a whole lot about it recently. They're probably just like, all the multimedia marketing for Sonic right now is going to be on the movie. But once that's out and it hit theaters and everything, they might and production has gotten a little further along on Sonic Prime. We'll probably start hearing more about it.
Yeah,
probably. Though where we are right now, Sega has said they don't plan on making any money off of Prime. They've said that they just want it to be a thing that exists that helps bring people to other facets of the franchise. And given that that's the case, I'm interested to see how loose and free they kind of are gonna be with the property. Because usually when a company goes and says, okay, we're making this thing not to make any money but to point to other things, you either get something that's like nightmarishly interesting because they're not worried about a profit motive, or you get something that is so bland and by the book because it's just desperately trying to be like, hey, here's our safe and fun character. I don't know which way they're going to go yet.
Yeah. I mean, I am always happy to see animators kind of get free reign. That's usually when you see some of the best work. Sometimes it can get messy, but I'm hoping that's not the case here. I think it's going to be fun. I mean, so far, if I'm understanding this correctly, it's been a little while since I've read up on Sonic Prime, but the idea is that it's kind of an interdimensional story, and we're going to be seeing like alternate dimensions. It's. I almost want to say Spider-Verse. I don't want to get too deep into that comparison whole, but there's some. I'm seeing some kind of similarities there. It's sort of like taking Sonic Generations, maybe, and pushing that idea a little bit further.
I mean, they did say during the Sonic Central event that this would take place in the Shatterverse, which is another fancy word for metaverse. Sonic is going to the metaverse to meet Mark Zuckerberg and get himself some NFTs.
Oh god, he's going to meet Data from Star Trek.
God damn it.
Jesus.
I mean, God damn it, I gotta be the one to bring this up. So Ben 10, I think in some of their seasons they did a massive focus on parallel dimensions and stuff like that. I'm not gonna pretend like I know. I'm just going off of what I've seen off video game covers and stuff like that. And the name Ben 10 Omniverse. So we are gonna probably get multiple versions of Sonic in episodes at some point. Again, somebody else is gonna have to draw those comparisons, but since it's made by the same writing team, this does kind of sound like their wheelhouse. So I don't know if Spider-Verse comparisons are off the table or not, because I just don't. Obviously, none of us know what they're ultimately going to be going with, but clearly we're at least going to be getting fun-themed worlds and stuff like that with Jungle Amy and a Robotropolis-looking place, and a lot of Robotniks. I really like those Robotnik designs.
Tails with way too many tails.
I really hate that look, man. God, I hate that look.
He looks messy.
I want to see Tangle
in Sonic Prime.
We know you want to see Tangle. We know you want to see more than just Tangle. We know you want to see more
though.
of Tangle.
I think it would be fun if they actually started bringing it in. Like, if they want to do any multimedia thing where they start bringing in characters from the IDW comics, I feel like this would be a really easy way to do that, because you're not directly bringing them into the existing canon or anything like that. You could do alternate versions of those characters that exist elsewhere that would kind of be not too jarring, because they would actually kind of stand alone. However, they're introduced in this show.
Same with Freedom Fighters.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I would love to see. It would be amazing to see IDW characters along with like the Freedom Fighter characters. Something like that would be really cool to see.
I mean, it would make sense considering that it's going to be it potentially will be a more fast and loose Sonic show. We've seen screenshots of it and things like Sonic standing around like 3 or 4 just Eggmen on the ground randomly, and they're all variously different designs, which is something that we used to see in Archie more often than not.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, finish your sentence.
I was just gonna say, like, that was a thing that they liked doing with the what was it called, like the Intercosmic Highway, where there was always there's always just these random ass versions. It wasn't always like this one's Scourge, he's the evil Sonic. Like, no, they had Pirate Sonic, Batman Sonic, and all these other weird ass different versions of Sonic, and Eggman to accompany. That's a very Archie thing. So seeing
it's unfortunately though, and this is what surprised me about the Shadowverse, a very Ken Penders thing. He does technically, I think, own the rights to the Cosmic Interstate.
That's a cool name too. That's a shame.
Yeah, well, he did have a couple good ideas before he, whatever, not about
Shut
him
up,
today.
Ed.
Yeah. That's that was always the
Shadowverse
sad
is a
thing.
good name.
Is that it's not the man doesn't have any redeeming qualities, at least in terms of his creativity. It's just everything else about him.
I do remember during the Sonic Central though, we were like, "Oh, we're gonna get some news on Prime," and we got a fucking logo, and that was it.
You know what
the
I would
news
love-
is it might exist.
you know what I would
Eggman
love
is
to
in it.
see?
Go on.
Just because like alternate dimensions and everything like that, I especially always love seeing different versions of worlds that have already been taken over, like by the villain and that sort of thing. Something I would love to see. I've always had this really kind of out there theory for Eggman, and it doesn't work based on what we've heard from the developers and everything like that about the original Genesis games. But if you think about it, I mean, Eggman is like the only human that we see in those original titles. And it kind of makes you wonder, where are the other ones? And they kind of answered that once we got to the adventure era. But if you want to just take that era on its own, an idea that I always thought was possible was that using animals to power his machines was not his first his first plan. Maybe he ran out of people. And I like this idea where, like,
That is dark. That is dark and beautiful.
so
Holy cow!
That is this idea that I've always had was like, and I loved in the first Sonic movie, Dr. Robotnik says something about like, you know what I love about machines? They're reliable. They follow orders and everything like that. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm starting to see like a little bit. These could be the sowing seeds of that theory, where it's just he got so fed up with like the fallibility of human beings that he tried to perfect society. Again, kind of IDW Eggman, where he's saying he's doing something for the world in his eyes, where he's bringing order and peace to everything in his own way. And that was his method, was he just turned everything into robots. And he took the world and made them machines. And he just has to keep going, maybe through his own experiments, because we see small little animals that don't seem to have any higher form of sentience, but we do see Sonic and his characters that are sometimes parallels of already pre-existing creatures that we have seen don't share that sentience, so there's kind of a mix there. Well, maybe Eggman was responsible for how they ended up that way. Maybe some of these animals actually have the minds of humans that used to exist. I don't know. You could go freaking crazy with that idea, but I love this idea that Sonic's world, South Island and everything, exists in this future where Eggman basically already won, and he took over the world, and he did like some pretty messed up stuff. And I don't know, it's a fun idea. I would love to see if Sonic Prime does something with that idea.
So basically, Sonic Sat AM.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah,
that is a couple steps left of the Archie canon.
Which is originally from Sonic Sat AM.
Yes.
Well, that was when I was reading the Archie comics as a kid. I think that was kind of what started that idea in my head and kind of got that idea rolling, where I was just like, oh, so Eggman's like, because he's a human being, and at least in the comics he had like Snively, and so it was like there were some other humans, but I'm just like, what if Eggman is just this guy that just wants total and complete control, and he's already got it over the humans? Like, I don't know. It's a fun idea to me.
So I don't know. I need to get caught up on that specific era of Archie Sonic. But there were other human beings called Overlanders, and they had this huge war with the furries of that world at the time. And Robotnik betrayed his people, and then something happened to all the humans. I don't know if they specifically say what happened, but I think, if I remember correctly, they might have been all roboticized, so it might be exactly what you're talking about. I could be wrong there.
I like this idea. I know it's kind of a weird obsession to take like these fun, like family friendly ideas and just try to take them in a dark direction, which sometimes doesn't work. But I feel like for Sonic, if you don't get too deep into the actually watching that sort of thing play out, and you're just kind of dealing with the aftermath.
Oh my God, Wayne! Oh God, what? Ooh, what if that's why he has so many SWAT bots? Oh my God. Ooh.
Because that's
what I was thinking.
People.
That's what I was thinking. Because
Yeah,
they were a lot more humanoid, right?
Dude,
Guys,
yeah, SWAT bots were so much fun.
Please, it's quite obvious that Sonic all takes place in an insane asylum, and Sonic is just one man that just took a lot of speed.
I'd watch that show.
He is Speed.
It's every fucking Winnie the Pooh Toy Story theory that ever existed.
I don't think
one
Speed is,
one flew over the cuckoo's
I don't
nest.
think Speed is a hallucinogen, is it?
No, it's not, but he just fucked his brain up that badly because he took that much of it.
Oh, fantastic.
I don't know. I don't do speed yet.
It is interesting to note, though, and I know it's been said in the chat, and we've said it before on this show, Wild Brain does own the distribution rights to the old shows. That does not mean they own the rights to the Freedom Fighters or any stuff like that. That still falls in Sega's hands, and it still falls on Sega to actually use that stuff. But depending on how those contracts work and how much freedom they have, Wild Brain, I don't know. Like, because they do have all of SatAM, they have all of Adventures on their YouTube channel that you can just watch now.
Yeah, that is worth noting, is that distribution rights are not the same thing as having rights to those characters or to how they're used in future product. I remember they ran into some issues early on with, I think Universal had the film distribution rights to The Incredible Hulk. So they couldn't really, Marvel or MCU studios could not make more Hulk movies, but they could make movies with Hulk in it.
Like, they can, but it's just a lot of fucking hassle. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, they just don't do it for that reason. Although I believe we're getting a World War Hulk film at some point, so that's something.
Disney's got the money to, they'll do what they want. If they can get Spider-Man into movies, if they wanted to flex hard enough, they can make a Hulk movie.
At this point, it's possible.
But that is a good. While we're talking Marvel, though, we do live in a post Avengers, post No Way Home world, and I don't know, man. Like, if you were another big company trying to, ride off this hype, and you're making a show about multiple dimensions, it behoove them to use as much nostalgia as possible, even if it is just quick cameos or something of these old cartoons.
Yep.
Yeah, I think given like the direction that a lot of pop culture is going, it absolutely behooves them to start just gently nudging in that direction. What do you think, Suris? Do you think it behooves them?
I mean, considering that we do live in a post MCU world, it really does behoove them to just kind of push forward with a lot of that. It's already been established that a lot of those types of things can work.
But does it dehoove them? What if we chop off all the hooves of their horses?
It depends.
Well, it depends.
We gotta get back our horse boy from Archie.
This whole thing was a
Bring
lovely
back
throwback to a
Horse Guy.
previous episode.
Yeah. Hashtag justice for Horse Guy.
Damn it.
Nobody cares about Sir Connor. He can go fuck himself to death. Yeah. I want to hear from you guys. Round table here. I want to get some fun discussions going. I want to hear specifically what you want to see from this show. Pup, you want to... Yeah, just like, be it an idea or like a characterization or like an overall, what I want the show to be. I really want to hear like what you guys want from this show.
It's quite funny to me that in the synopsis of it, they mentioned like it's a show with themes of redemption and stuff for Sonic. Like, is Sonic going to go off the deep end?
What did he do? Is he going to go to school?
What crimes will he commit?
I like to think that it's not so much a redemption of something that he did, or maybe it's more something that he failed to prevent.
I mean, that's probably more accurate, because it's usually not, unless we're talking about like what they do in IDW right now. Usually Sonic's not directly responsible for the world getting fucked up.
I mean, also Lost World, he was, to be fair, responsible for a lot of that.
He was responsible for a lot of Metal Virus. I'm still standing by that. He made decisions that directly affected the world.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
I don't know. To be honest, like my expectations for this, or even my hopes, is not something I've put a lot of stock into. I mean, I guess I'm just kind of excited about it because it's going to be a show about the core Sonic rather than being like an offshoot or like a dick animation thing or Sonic Boom. It's this is the Prime Sonic. And obviously, like multiverses and stuff are exciting prospects for storytelling, and I like a lot of the artwork we've had. And I'm not going to put too much stock into the possibility of them, incorporating old versions of these characters from other mediums and stuff. Like, I'd like to see that because, if anything, that really meshes with when we did our Sonic Games pitch episode, where we pitched our Sonic games we'd love to see. It really sounds a lot like my idea in some ways. If they were to incorporate, some of those other bits, it'd be a way of kind of unifying the fan base as well for at least, just a short period of time. But, on a whole, I don't really have any expectations or really any hopes for it. I just want it to be a good Sonic show, and I just hope it's not too cringe.
I want something that is somewhat close. Maybe not entirely indicative of, or evocative of, but something that is close to what we got with Sat AM, or even with our. I like Wayne's idea a lot because it gives me feelings of that. I know that obviously the base answer is just you want a good show. I want a show that is good. I want a show that's tightly written. I want a show that can take itself seriously enough that I'm invested, but it's not so flippant with its own themes that I'm just sitting here going, okay, I'm ready to get to watching something completely different. I'm hoping that we get that nice sweet spot between self-aware and also taking itself seriously. And I think that's by following some, not all, but some of the formula we get in things like Archie, I think that would help, especially if we're already going to be having a multiverse thing. They can play really fast and loose with that. They can have the literally the possibilities are infinite as long as we don't get infinite back.
Could you not have just said never ending or something?
I could have
made it into like a Sonic Unleashed reference instead of a Forces reference.
I could have said we have endless
Sonic
possibilities.
The fun is infinite.
But fun is infinite with Sega Enterprises, Pop.
Well, it's not. That's been proven. Like, fun does definitely run out by the time you get to the mid 2000s.
I feel like I almost have a. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. If you're still going, Suris.
You're good. You're good.
I almost have like a little checklist of things I would like to see from Sonic Prime, and I'm surprised by how much of it revolves around Eggman, and how much I want to see from him. Because I feel like I've been coming to realize, especially revisiting the original series and everything, and what makes those games work. Eggman's a good villain. Like, he is, and I think he's really interesting if you're willing to kind of like peer behind the veil a little bit, and you just start theorizing about more about this character. And especially reading the IDW comics recently, god damn it, some of the best content Sonic has ever had. And I think it's some of the best ways that Eggman has ever been handled. Something that I would love to see. Again, if it dream scenario, I would love to see some more ideas, if not specific characters or the actual stories from IDW, some of the concepts evolved in Sonic Prime, because I think that it's a great area to kind of tread through. Something I would love to see, if it's a redemption arc about Sonic, redeeming himself for failing something. First thing I want to see is I want to see the initial universe that we're introduced in just get wasted. I want it to be via the Death Egg. I want to see that fucking thing actually get used, and I want to see it have some like actual usefulness. I want that thing to actually serve its purpose, and for us to just see like the world get either destroyed, taken over. I want to see Sonic fail, and that's kind of like brings us into the Shadowverse. I also want to see, if not like a a deeper dissection into the current Eggman that we're introduced to from that series, maybe a version of Eggman that starts getting us thinking about the overall character a bit more. Something that really stuck out to me in IDW was Mr. Tinker. I think it's probably one of the most fascinating ideas they've ever introduced with the character, and it got me thinking again about like just my idea of who this character might have been before. And I like to think that so when Sonic loses, well, I don't know if I want to get too deep into spoilers. There is a point where Sonic briefly loses his memory in the IDW comics, and he's kind of arrogant, he's kind of cocky, but he's still an overall okay dude, you know. Eggman loses his memory, and his instinct is just to start building things to help people. And I'm like, is that the base man? Is that who this person used to be? Did something happen to him that changed who Eggman was, that led to the monster that we see later on? And what if there's just this delusion there? Like he's talking about these differing versions of what Eggman Land is. I love Sonic saying it means different things to different people. What if that used to mean something different to Eggman? What if that was something that he wanted? He wanted to entertain people. I mean, you look back in like how many levels in the classic games, or even in some of the 3D ones, our Eggman has created some like entertainment district where it's all of these casinos and theme parks and everything like that. He is a theatrical man, and he kind of thrives on almost entertaining people. He wants to be seen, he wants to be loved and enjoyed, and maybe that was something that was always there, and maybe he wasn't getting that, and that led to his breaking into trying to control everybody into not only serving him, but loving him and revering him highly. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I want to see more Eggman, and I would love if Sonic Prime took the time, especially if we're doing multiverse, if we're doing like different versions of the character, do a good version of him where we actually get to a deeper understanding of who this character is, and maybe we can see a bit more of his past that we didn't get a chance to before, because normal Eggman as we know him now would never get into that shit.
I mean, that kind of...
So, I hate to be a bummer. Because I like all those ideas, Wayne. I'm gonna recommend that you first read Sonic Fleetway, because that Robotnik is not Robotnik at first. He transforms from a good man to that, and I think Tinker was kind of playing on that idea. And yeah, like it's one of those things where you take a silly old idea, and then what comics do, a lot of comics these days, I'm thinking of Superior Spider-Man or Metal Virus, or another thing I'm about to talk about, where they take a silly concept that's usually just around for one episode, and they build upon how that's going to affect these characters in the world in big, impactful ways. I like what you're thinking there. Yeah, I would like to see those ideas brought back and recontextualized, reanalyzed into this version of Eggman. I think that'd be fascinating. And yeah, in a multiverse story, that'd be a great way to do it, especially since Fleetway did Dr. Kintobar, and then they brought that idea back in Archie, and another one that they did, because if you're really digging IDW, you need to read Ian Flynn's run on Archie when he had free reign to go fucking wild, because the Death Egg is there, and it is a very, very big threat. It is incredible. I'm not going to ruin it here, but the build-up and the payoffs are fantastic. I love all your ideas. I was just thinking, oh man, Wayne, you got some comics to read, bro. You got some comics.
No, hey man, if this stuff is already out there, I am more than happy to look into it. But that it still stands. In recent days, recent weeks, and everything, I have just kind of fallen in love with the character of Eggman, and I feel like there's a lot of untapped potential there.
Yeah, Wallace, shut the fuck up and read a comic, boy.
Well, like what I'm saying is like those ideas have been kind of teased at and explored. But yeah, like that's a frustrating thing about Tinker, though, because in this current iteration of Sonic, the one that's got a lot more lockdown of what he's supposed to be by Sega, since they're not going to let any more lawsuits or the wild of the 90s happen again. we got to go back to the default. We always have to go back to the default. We're never going to get like a really deep dive on what some of these game characters truly mean anymore. And it sucks because Tinker really did explore some fun ideas, and they carried it on where they can in terms of like Belle, like what they can do and like what the impact of what Tinker was to this world, even if they can't technically keep Eggman like that. That's fun workarounds, but I'm with you completely 100%. I really want to see more of his origins and what makes him. I want to see the man in the Eggman. I want to see what makes him that. So
I mean, I'll say this. I like the idea of seeing more of, you know, who Eggman truly is beyond his hubris. And I do like the Mr. Tinker concept. I know a little about it. But I've always thought the whole Dr. Kintobo thing was stupid as fuck.
I didn't like it back then, but I mean the evolved idea of what is Eggman outside of an evil genius? Is there any humanity in there? Is fascinating.
I think the movie did it perfectly, in my opinion. Like the idea that he was just a little bully little kid who was gifted, and then he just turned on all the bullies.
You just get
Yeah.
so almost like a Doc Ock kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's just like, you know, it doesn't. It's not overly complicated, you know. It's just, you know, he is Robotnik effectively.
Yeah, I think I just like I don't know. I think that's fine. I just find it a little dull, and I that's what I mean when I say like there's a potential there to do a lot with that character, and I feel like something like Sonic Prime, if they're doing multiverse. Yeah, sorry, no, I went off on a huge tangent there, but it does kind of lead back to Prime. I think if we're doing multiverse, if you did a version of the character where you get to explore a little bit of that, then it's something that doesn't have to stick. You can return to the default because the default didn't go anywhere. And it doesn't have to be the definitive origin story of Eggman, but it is a side of the character that you get to kind of explore. I don't know if they'll actually go that far, but I would love to see something like that.
Yeah, that's a perfect place to do it, right? A multiverse, you can take a version of the character and explore what his humanity could be if his, you know, life took a slightly different path. And I do like all the multiple Eggmans we're getting. I wonder if it's just like a time travel thing as opposed to they're all from different dimensions, though. But
another thing worth checking out, actually, and this is a purely fan-made thing, but there's like a 32-minute long sort of animatic by a YouTuber that goes by Muji Mikey called "His History Revealed: A Dr. Robotnik Biography," and it kind of gives like the full sort of life story of Dr. Robotnik. And obviously it's all fan-made, but it's actually really solid.
I'll have to look into that.
I'll have to watch that at some point. I might actually watch that after Double Sunset City.
Yeah, sorry, that's my soapbox for the day.
I mean,
fine.
it's
That's something to talk about.
Perfectly acceptable. I saw nothing wrong with the soapbox.
Yeah,
but
I
do think.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know. You people have gotten me so much more interested in the Sonic franchise than I used to be.
I mean, that's what happens whenever you're talking with people who all value an IP. Like we all like it on some level. Eventually, you're just like, oh, there's a lot more to this than I originally thought, or oh, I hadn't considered those things. And eventually, you just kind of hit that wall of, well, fuck, now I'm here and I'm enjoying it too.
But I like it the most.
Well, it's like when you guys drag me into friggin' Fortnite.
Yeah,
hey, you like it.
You're gonna be fine.
You like it.
I watched Link kill somebody with a shark. Just, it's great.
His name was Tim. He was a very good boy. He was a very hungry boy.
So what I want, I'm gonna keep it just very shallow here because there are some worries I have I want to talk about with you guys.
Oh yeah, don't go too deep. I'm kind of new at this.
So, God damn. I mean, just fan service. I like the excuse of fan service. Obviously, they need to build up what this version of Sonic and Eggman and everybody is on its own terms, so it's an engaging narrative, so I can follow these main characters and not just worry about what potential fan service they can feed us. But if it's successful enough, and if they're given enough leeway, I mean, as straightforward as it sounds, I would really like this to be an excuse to show characters that are dearly missed by some fan bases that could use that service, because there's no reason not to use them as far as I'm concerned. because the games certainly aren't that deep in terms of narrative or lore anymore. I hope that changes now that we got Flynn on board. I hope they're really listening to the fan base, but
Sorry, go on.
Well, no, I'm just being redundant at that point. I've made that very clear. I've never been a big fan of the Freedom Fighters up until I saw Ian Flynn handle them, and then I was like, oh, I get it now. It wasn't until I was an adult before I liked the Freedom Fighters. I hated them as a kid. Sally, I thought was cool. Made me very confused about chipmunks. But yeah, she's an engaging character. They're all engaging characters if you give them that opportunity. And that's what I've been saying about Zavik and speed reading. There is no bad Sonic character. You just need to utilize them properly. And I would like to see them do that because they have all of them there and they're just afraid to use them for lawsuits or arrogance. I don't know. But use them.
And
Bringing things... Sorry, go on.
No. You go ahead.
No. Because I'm going to kind of... I'm kind of moving on to another sort of subject. So if you got something to make based on that, please do go ahead.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I don't mean to get too deep into all of the IDW stuff. I just think there's so many good things there. Now, kind of leaving it where it is might be a good idea because that gives the IDW comics more wiggle room to do what they want with those characters, especially their original ones. But there is a lot of content where I'm just kind of seeing things where I'm just like, man, I would love to see some IDW pop in here. All I'm saying, Sonic Frontiers ending up in a weird big world, just kind of out of nowhere, would be kind of cool if that was the Warp Topaz going crazy. I don't know, I'm spitballing, but I would love to fucking see Starline. Oh my god,
I think all of us would. Holy shit!
Seeing animated Starline, because he always has interesting powers to work with. Whether seeing him just use his teleporters to fuck with people, or seeing some of the powers he gets later used just in real time instead of just in the comics, because it's cool to see him do that in the comics. It'd be really cool to see him mixing those just almost like a proper video game character just in real time.
He's the most sadistic character in IDW.
He gets legitimate enjoyment, like real legitimate enjoyment out of other people's suffering, and it's almost like he does it just to test himself.
Yeah, Eggman's a force of nature. He's a sociopath, though. He's really, it's awesome.
So, what I was going to say is these are all really cool ideas and such. My actual expectation beyond kind of hopes, though, and what I think we're actually in for is a pretty standard sort of Saturday morning cartoon about Sonic going into the multiverse.
I agree.
I think more realistically, because like I understand that they do kind of have the rights to some of these distributions and that that we are in like a post No Way Home world. But call me a cynic, Sonic stuff is very rare that it does go above and beyond its Call of Duty, I guess.
No, I agree. I agree with that. I don't like it. I want to disagree. I want to fight you on that. I can't.
I can't
but
either.
You're right.
Yeah, what I think we're gonna get is we're gonna get the action figure variations of all the characters that we already see, and I'm gonna get sick and tired of it really fucking quickly. I don't need
it's
to
gonna
see
be
Sonic
like
meet Amy 3 fucking times.
I think like we want it to be like Sonic's equivalent to No Way Home, but in actuality it's gonna be more like Sonic's equivalent to Marvel's What If.
You know, I don't think you're incorrect there.
Yeah.
I think it is going to be something like that, except he's the Watcher and he gets to interact with everybody. Yeah, I think it's just going to be variations of the same characters that, bluntly, I'm kind of sick of seeing. I'd like to expand on them as characters in their world. I want to know what's going on with Angel Island and the Master Emerald. I want to know what's going on with Tails in his workshop. I would like to see a more consistent version of those guys. And maybe we still get them. But
I mean, I'll also be real. That doesn't mean it's going to be bad either.
No.
Like if it is like, you know, just a standard Saturday morning cartoon, it could still be a good one. It could also be that like maybe they make a really good show, but they don't fold in other parts of Sonic's history either. Maybe it's not going to be like when it's a multiverse thing. Maybe there's no meta to that, but like it's still really well done. I don't know, but like Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, you're fine. What I think you're going to see, and you'll definitely see this, but I think you'll notice this more than most people. I think you're going to see a larger appreciation for the writing of Sonic Boom after this comes out.
Hell yeah, I'm ready.
Because Man of Action, I mean, I know they have a huge fan base for Ben 10. I'm not going to pretend like I've seen a bunch of that show. I've seen a few episodes. I've seen a little bit of Mega Man, and I know it's not the same writers for every single thing they've done. But it is just very bog standard dialogue. I mean, yeah, the overall lore can get interesting, I'm sure, but like the moment to moment conversations, it's nothing special from anything I've seen.
Just all the same.
And Sonic Boom, whatever else you want to say about it, was genuinely fucking funny a lot of the time. And yeah, there's a lot of self-referential humor, but like there's like really witty humor in there as well, and people are going to miss that more down-to-earth version of those characters, I think.
I just remember Sonic busting in with his copy of Tomatopotamus 3, and Tails is like, oh yeah, it was never the same when they made the transition to 3D.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be... That was a lot of the show, though. I think that's where you get a lot of that meta-era conversation
I had
started.
no issue with that, though. Like, because
change the color of his arms.
Sonic Boom was meta in a way that it was like kind of clever. Like, and as I say,
it was the place for it.
There's a time and a place, and it matters how well it's done as well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to just see Sega's social media feeds posting Sonic 06 quite bad. You know, like, I would rather see you apologize for that than joke about that. Like, you're there with us. You did that. That's your fault.
And the best way to apologize, for that, though, generally is giving us either a really good game or a better version of the game. And
I mean, they gave us Sonic Generations, so like, I'm not gonna fucking lambast them. But you know how it is. I
mean, not to get too far off the topic of the show, but I think the best thing Sega themselves could do is just embrace some of the ideas of Sonic 06. And I think that'd go a long way to making the fan base okay with the social media team, who has no control over what Sonic Team's doing, to just make a dumbass joke about 06 on occasion.
Yeah, like if they weren't shit scared of it, like I think the joking would come off much better.
I think so too. I mean, I think it just bring. Now I have a Mephiles skateboard and a plush in my room. I'm looking at right now, and
I want Mephiles back.
A little tech, yeah.
Oh, nice.
And it just makes me happy that I've said many times on the show I do not like that game. I don't hate every single thing about it, though. I love Mephiles.
I've said it myself. My dream Sonic storyline would involve fucking Mephiles the Dark as the main villain and Shadow redeeming Infinite and bringing him onto Team Dark to fight against Mephiles.
Yeah.
Like to see...
I want to see more of these characters. I would like to see them
redeemed
in terms of make them good characters.
No, but as in, like, I'd like to see Infinite, like, fully become a hero. Like, Shadow is the only person that actually kind of believes in him.
And that's the thing, is, like, I do not care about Infinite, but it's, like, it's not so much I never want to see the character again. If they can change my mind on him, all the better. It's just, what's there right now, I have no interest in.
I think there's just potential and there's just nothing right now.
But I think
unfulfilled potential is the best excuse to bring back an unpopular character.
If Ian Flynn can turn me around on Zavik, he certainly can do that with Infinite. Because the most interesting Infinite has ever been is when Ian Flynn wrote him for a prequel comic.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
So, yeah. However they brought him back, be it for a redemption story or, lean further into villainy, I would like him back.
You can't redeem Mephiles, though. Mephiles is a bad boy.
He's a force of nature.
He's Satan. He's Sonic Universe Satan, effectively.
I would like to see him disconnected from Suris.
Oh, yeah, like, in my kind of idea, it's like, this is the first time meeting the Mephiles of this universe, and, like, he's not attached to all that Solaris and stuff. He's his own thing.
I mean, we can fanfic it away all day long. They could do it. It'd be a lot of fun.
Let's do it. All right. let's stop this. We're going to do a table read of my Sonic Adventure 3 script. Let's do it. Who do you want to play? Nick, I've got you down as Knuckles.
I want to talk about the show. I'm not doing this tangent.
I don't have a fucking fanfic, Nick. You should know that. I haven't written one. Nick. What do you think I am, man? All right, anyways.
Let's continue on what we think the show is actually going to be. Suris and Wayne, I don't think you guys have said really much of anything on that particular subject yet.
Yeah, so if I had to guess, just based off of what little we've seen, I think the Shatterverse might be a little less hopping between realities and a little more. Have you guys seen the more recent Battle World arc from Marvel Comics?
I haven't.
No.
I say more recent. I guess it was like it was a while ago now. It was probably
Oh,
5
was
years
this?
ago.
Oh wait, Secret Wars 2, right?
Yeah.
You
Where
could've just
Doctor
fucking
Doom
said
created. Yeah, I forgot what it was called. Shut up.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, where Doctor Doom created Battle World, where it was just fragments of a couple of realities he decided to keep for himself, and he created a world that's just made up of these little fragments. I feel like that might be a little bit more of what Shadowverse is going to be.
I'm gonna have to go full cynic mode, unfortunately. I really do feel like we're just going to get a show that has like 3 or 4 main Sonic characters, and we're just going to meet different versions of them each time, and sometimes they might be good, and sometimes they might be evil. But I really think they're just going to go, yes, here is Amy 5. Here's Eggman 342. And
I think they're just going to do like a Monster of the Week sort of style here.
Yeah, I really think that's what it's going to be. And I hate that. But Pup made a comment that made me think about this. And when Pup said it might be closer to Marvel's What If, I know, Pup, when you said that, I'm imagining you were meaning more just in terms of quality of what we're going to get.
Oh no, it'd be worse than that. But like, as in like these are just clearly fucking recolors for the sake of selling Marvel Legends figures.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was the point that made me go, actually, no, you're probably right. Because as soon as you said that, I just imagined the show where every episode has maybe one connecting thread to everything else in the show, but every episode is this standalone welcome to this new universe where the main villain of this universe might be Knuckles. The main villain of that universe might be Amy. The main villain of this one is Sonic. And they just like kind of shuffle that around, and by episode 4 we will have already seen every card they could possibly play. And I mean,
you also bring up a good point, is that I'm worried about the potential of it getting repetitive. Like, I would rather they spend a long time in Universe Prime and develop the characters, and we spend time with these characters than he's meeting these people for the first time every single goddamn fucking episode.
Yeah, I want to see a group of core characters go on an adventure, learn shit about themselves, and fight a big bad. I don't want to see 5 new characters every episode that I already know.
So what you're saying is, you don't want Chain of Memories. You don't want to just rehash the same fucking adventure again, but pretend we haven't already been here before.
Or that
I'm gonna be honest,
DS game. Holy shit.
I wasn't able to finish Chain of Memories because I got to frickin' Neverland and I got lost.
Another potential likelihood, though, is I think obviously it's going to be a kids show, and the best kind of kids shows and the ones that we can enjoy are the ones that don't talk down to kids, so they can be enjoyed by adults as well. My other reservation is that it is going to be one of those things that you're really going to have to get yourself into a kid head to enjoy. And, you know, I don't think... I think a lot of Sonic media has actually done quite well to avoid that, with the exception of a lot of the more recent Sonic games. I worry that the show might do that. And, like, I mean, here's the thing I'm going to say, is Ben 10. I didn't grow up with it. I watched, like, one episode at the recommendation of a friend, and I found it to be... I needed to put myself in the head of a kid watching it in order to get any enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
You know,
Now, that's like kind of what separates the Ben 10s from the Batman, the animated series is. And ideally, I'd like Sonic Prime to be more Batman, the animated series, where it doesn't kind of talk down to its audience and is enjoyable for all ages. I'm worried it's going to be a bit more Ben 10.
Their dialogue is so stiff, man.
And it feels like it's really easy for Sonic to slip into that, especially in recent games, but also in some of the animated works. I feel like you guys didn't feel the same way about this. I felt it with that little Sonic Colors cartoon that came out, like the two-parter. I felt like I had to be a child to enjoy any of that dialogue or anything that was going on
I'm
there.
with you.
I gotta say, I am actually with you there. I did like it. I thought it was well done. But like, it was definitely a for kids thing. And again, I'm not going to hold that against the show if it does opt to be a strictly for kids thing.
And we shouldn't.
It will eliminate my own personal interest, and that's okay. You know, like I don't need to be on this like a fly on shit. But like, you know, it will be disappointing. But it's again, that's not going to be a criticism of the show necessarily.
Yeah, it's more of like a potential for it, and it is one of those things where it's hard not to hold it up against some really high grade animated works that we've seen that do make themselves welcome for adults and children, that really stand the test of time, however many years forward. And not every animated series has to live up to that, and I think that's one thing that's kind of hard to remember from time to time, but it's like it's obvious that we want it.
Yeah, like I'm never going to hold it against the show for not being as good as Batman the Animated Series, because that is just a fucking incredible show.
No,
like,
I need Blue Justice the animated
So
series.
that quality is not something I take for granted.
Yeah. We need to emphasize, guys, because everybody in the chat's getting defensive about Ben 10. Both Pup and I have said we've not watched a lot of the show. We're going off a couple episodes at best. We apologize. We know you're fans. We're not, and we don't have a great deal to work off here. We're just making dumb assumptions.
Also, absolutely, like when I say I think it is more ultimately aimed at kids, and I don't feel like it necessarily, talks up to other audiences as much as other shows, you don't have to take that as, oh, you like this, so you're really childish. You do not. You might just have a better time seeing it in the way that it's supposed to be viewed than me. Or maybe you don't view it as more childish. I don't know. But everyone's standards are going to be different. Mine aren't better than yours, but yours aren't better than mine either. So no disrespect across the board.
Yeah, and
as someone who...
I don't know if I agree with, like, in terms of, like, feeling like it was talking down to kids in terms of, like...
It's not outright talking down to them. It's just not necessarily mature enough for me, I guess.
fucking sentence here. Just what I saw from... the sequel series when he was wearing my jacket, that prick. It was a lot more serious, but like then I could compare it to the Bruce Timm versions of DC characters, which is going on at the same time, and it just felt very, it didn't feel very natural the way people were talking with each other. It didn't sound very kiddie, like they were taking everything very seriously. I just wasn't a big fan of the dialogue. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't anything special. That's all I'm saying. Because, again, I've not watched the whole show, so I don't know.
As someone who has seen a decent amount of the show, it does get better, but it takes an investment to get to the good shit in Ben 10.
I'd imagine so. But either way, I'm agreeing with you guys in terms of like what we expect from the show. The only other things I would say in terms of like why they might tackle it a little bit differently, because I do think we are going to get a different Monster of the Week, because that's what these guys are known for. But it is streaming. This is going to be a very bingeable thing. So I wonder if we are going to have that continuing connected story, depending on whether or not they release a full season at a time or not. They usually release a full season at a time when it comes to the kids' shows. And I've been watching Camp Cretaceous. It's nothing special in terms of dialogue, but it's very watchable, and it has what I wanted from it, which is a lot of dinosaurs. And I'm hoping that's the case for the Netflix show.
You want a bunch of dinosaurs?
I mean, I'll always take dinosaurs, but what
Sonic
I'm going to assume that happens is something happens in Sonic's main universe, and there's all these Eggmen that show up there, and they take over it, and Sonic's got to go to different universes to kind of help repair things, and then ultimately, by the end of the season, he will have grabbed a whole crew of folks, probably Jungle Amy or multiple Tails, and a different version of Knuckles, and then they'll, they'll Marvel What If it up. That's, again, just a guess, but we know for sure we're going to be getting a Jungle Amy and a multiple Tails, and many, many Eggmen. So
I also want to set out this little prediction here. Are you okay there? Your chair's squeaking.
Yeah, I just had to move for a sec.
Okay. Yeah, so here's a prediction. Like, whether the show's good or bad in the long run, when we first see that first episode, we're going to think it's mid at best. Because it's going to have stuff to establish, I guess.
I can see that.
I like world
But, like,
building,
that-
though.
I
Maybe it's
mean-
got good world building. You
I
don't know.
mean, Sonic Boom, for example, the first episode of that I thought was pretty mid. But it really grew on me over time. And then, I loved the show, obviously. I think Sonic is a hard thing to make first impressions with.
And being a kid's show, it might be a little bit of time before they find their footing. When I say I want like the Freedom Fighters or like these references to other things, or like bringing Julia White to do a fun old school American Sonic, that's not the kind of stuff you get in the first season. I mean, that's like season 3 kind of stuff. So if it's successful and it does well and it finds its voice and its audience, I think that's a possibility down the line. But yeah, I'm not expecting much. I'm expecting a fairly bog standard kids show that I watch just because I like Sonic the Hedgehog. So exactly what I did as a kid watching those cartoons. Yeah. Sorry, we're all so negative about it, guys. We're just being real.
We're just being pragmatic.
Like,
I mean, we're identifying that we're not necessarily going to be the target audience for this.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going
Yeah,
to say,
and-
though? I mean, I know we'd like to shit on Sonic Forces. I mean, if you look at all these little things here, I mean, I'm sorry for repeating myself over and over in every episode I say this. It takes a long time to get projects off the ground, to get people together, to spend the money, and to, finally put it out there in the world.
Mhm.
And Sega has, for better or worse, it looks like they have been listening. Ian Flynn is writing the next Sonic game. It's an open world game. There's going to be a change up from what we got from Forces. And Forces itself was trying to be a different game tonally from what came before. And I think that was in part due to what fans wanted from it. They didn't keep on the right guy. They kept a hold on a lot of these ideas in terms of story. And clearly it just wasn't a finished game because, yeah, I still believe there would have been a chaos boss fight in there. All this shit we talked about before. My point is, I am seeing change for the better in this franchise, even when it releases in games and stuff. We're not really feeling. Colors was a stopgap, really shitty. They still worked on it. Forces sucked, but it's still playable. It's fine. And they aren't trying to bring us another Forces. And I'm seeing that with this and with Prime from the concept art we've seen. It's given us a darker tone. It doesn't look like a very lighthearted show. And yeah, I like that mix of comedy and lightheartedness. They are cartoon characters. And yeah, a little bit more seriousness with the stakes at hand. And there's my positivity there. I think we're going to get a little bit of that.
So your positivity is just that we're going to get something different because Sega has, for better or worse, been showing that they're at least listening, right?
I think they're going to give a bigger shit about the story itself because that's why you bring on Man of Action. That's why you have Netflix and all this other stuff. They're not doing another 11-minute comedy thing. Like the moment they announced how Sonic Boom was going to be represented on Cartoon Network, when it was going to be showing up, when they were going to be broadcasting it, I immediately knew what it was. And for the most part, it was much better than what I expected it to be, even given the context of it being just a lighthearted comedy show. I think this is going to be a more narrative-focused. We'll still get Monsters of the Week, but there'll be a through line there that keeps you going from episode to episode. And I don't think it's going to be great at first, but I certainly see more potential than not to be one of the better animated Sonic renditions we've gotten in a long time. Because when I look at a piece of art and I get Sad AM vibes, that's pretty damn cool.
I mean, on paper, this sounds like the best Sonic show yet, and it sounds much more like what I'd want than like Sonic Boom, for example. Like, When I heard about Sonic Boom just being like 11-minute long comedy episodes, I was a bit disappointed because like, oh, we're never going to get to see Sonic go on these big adventures and these high stakes blockbustery battles, and that's such a huge part of Sonic's appeal.
Yeah.
But the thing that made Boom work was that it was just so well done. Like they took the concept and they just made it really good. And to be fair, they did have, I think, a couple of like double length episodes or quadruple length. I know they had like the 45-minute long special Robots in the Sky, which I want to kind of talk with you about, Nick, for
we'll
for
get
your
on that
thing.
Yeah.
But like yeah, no, like they did do that, but as long as Sonic, what's it called again? Prime. As long as Sonic Prime does what it does well, then I am happy. Like I want to make that real clear. It's like, yes, I might have some hopes, my expectations might be low, but at the same time, as well as it is done to a good standard, whether it's for kids or for adults, I will give it, all the credit in the world.
It did get properly shown or teased in a same announcement that talked about Sonic video games. I am happy to see Sega finally trying to unify the brand a little bit, even if we are considering this a different canon from Game Sonic. I do appreciate that they are taking care to celebrate everything they're doing with the franchise, be it the movie, the games, comics, and now this TV show. It has every opportunity to be successful. It's on Netflix. You can't get much better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I just wanted to also point out, though, is with some of our concerns, it is worth noting there's the Cuphead show. Now, I'm not a Cuphead fan. I don't know anything about the Cuphead games or anything, but I've seen some of the response to the show, and it has been quite varied among Cuphead fans. Like, some Cuphead fans are like, oh yeah, it's perfectly fine for what it is. It's a good little cartoon. Other Cuphead fans are a bit disappointed that it wasn't a bit more mature or a bit more in line with the Cuphead video games or whatever. I think we might, going by kind of what I've said, I think we're going to end up with a Cuphead situation where like diehard Sonic fans know the potential of Sonic, and it might not necessarily reach that, but it won't matter because it will still be absolutely fine for what it is.
I think Cuphead's perfectly fine. There's not a lot there to build off of.
I think it perfectly fits the tone
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
game
again,
was
I haven't
covering.
played Cuphead.
Yeah.
I'm just going by shit I've seen on Twitter.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
I've only seen one episode. I'm like, yeah, this is Cuphead.
I remember the no, sorry, that's a tangent. I won't get on that.
Well, I think it has potential to be fine and eventually be great. I think that's what we might eventually get once they establish themselves and get a better idea of how they handle these characters. Some people keep bringing this up, and this is a good question. We know that the Gamecast is not voicing these characters, right?
Oh, is that
Are
right?
they? Aren't they? I mean, like, I think the announcement that Roger Craig Smith wouldn't be voicing in Prime came at the same time as his announcement that he'd be departing the games in general. So I'd still say there's a possibility that they'll have the Gamecast.
I'll try to do a little bit of research right now. I should have done that before the show. I had heard that. I thought it was a different person, or it would be a different cast because that'd just be how contracts work.
That'd take some getting used to, not gonna lie.
I'd be fine with it. I like Roger fine, but I'd be fine with a younger sounding Sonic.
I do like Roger a lot, but it's not like it's not the voice I want for every version of Sonic.
I can agree with that, but again, it will take getting used to see that design with a new voice again.
I think we have them, guys. I think we have.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
What's up?
So I just did a quick Google search about Sonic
you're
Prime
screen
voice cast.
sharing.
Oh, am I?
Yeah.
There we go. Can you see this name? Can you see these names?
Yeah, no, that's a fan. That's a Disney fanon thing. That's all fan.
Oh yeah, I just read down a little bit further.
Like,
yeah,
because it also says like Princess Sally Acorn. And
yeah. I didn't read further down there. I'm glad you caught that. Yeah, never mind. We don't have anything.
Oh, hang on though. If you go on the IMDb page, this is top cast. I don't know if this means anything, but Griffin Puto as Sonic, Gillian Michaels as Tails, and Trevor Diver. I don't know who these are. I don't know if this is real or not.
Yeah, it looks like you're right though. We haven't heard anything since last year.
I mean, I would think that it would be quite big. We'd hear about it much more if they had the cast cemented.
Yeah.
I like Sonic.
I do too.
Sonic the Hedgehog is a fun.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we don't. Again, this is all just predictions. We can't do more than just speculate. We have so little to work off here, but sky's the limit. I think we're gonna get a pretty okay show, and I think it's gonna be more in line with what I've wanted from a Sonic cartoon than what I've gotten for a very long time. So
I wish I didn't have so much cynicism. It's not that I think that things are gonna be bad. It's that I understand the point you've made, Nick, about how like Sega has been doing better in this regard, even though sometimes the outcome isn't great. I do know that since Sega said they're not planning on making money off this, there is that chance that they will play this incredibly safe, since this is functionally going to operate like an advertisement for what their other properties are.
I mean, I was immediately worried the moment I saw Jungle Amy. I'm like, oh, we're doing this. Okay. All right. Just yeah, get a pirate Knuckles and a Jungle Amy, and we're just playing dress up
Which is
every fucking
literally
episode.
just what Archie used to do
Yeah.
with the Cosmic Highway. That is identical.
You know what
By
would be
the
kind
way-
of cool?
Go on, Wayne.
You know what would be? Oh yeah, I saw that poster. You know what would be kind of neat if they did? I don't think they're gonna do this, but even though I'm not the biggest fan of these games, although I haven't played the second one, it would be kind of neat to see it kind of brought back a little bit. The storybook games. Like, what if we got a little nod to the storybook versions of some of those characters?
I think a lot of fans would really appreciate that.
I'm not gonna lie, I hated the Secret Rings versions of practically every character, but I loved the iterations we got in Black Knight.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I just completely forgot. Yeah. Oh my God. That is basically the storybook games. For Sonic's just hopping around doing that. Oh, God. Good or bad thing, depending on the fandom, I guess.
I still want a storybook RPG.
Oh, goodness gracious. I mean, that's a place to do it, though. Yeah.
I really, really want to see, and not because I think that that this is something to be joked with, but I want to see Sir Gawain Knuckles because of how stupidly extra he was throughout all of Black Knight. No, I have lost the fight. This means I must end it all. Whoa, buddy, come on. It's not that big a deal. It's just a sword fight.
I'm
So
interested
it's
to finally play those again. Those are so goddamn cheesy to me when I first played them back in the day. But they went so hard on the armor design for all those characters.
Yes.
Was Black Knight good? I only played Secret Rings.
Black Knight is a huge improvement over what Secret Rings was. In every, like, if you had a complaint about Secret Rings, it is addressed in Black Knight in some way.
Okay.
Whether it's to your satisfaction comes down to if you are okay with the game still being on rails. Because it's still on rails, but it gets rid of the motion control on the rails, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you enjoy that stuff, it is a very, very good, very cinematic Sonic experience compared to other ones. It's cinematic in the gameplay, at least.
Okay. Because the only context I have for Sonic and the Black Knight is some people are gonna hate me for this, but it's gonna be Game Grumps, which I love those guys as entertainers, but I would never trust them for any form of critique.
Yeah,
Sequelitis is pretty good.
I think Sequelitis is wrong on a lot of things.
I think Sequelitis was a little up its ass, but you know, that's me.
I got a shit.
What?
Then go shit.
I got a shit.
Go
Oh my
shit.
God.
Go shit.
I don't
Alright.
want to.
Go shit.
Fine.
Like the moment,
Instead of just
the
typing
very,
that.
the very, just a very brief thing on Sequelitis. When in Sequelitis, when in Sequelitis, he said like, the combat, it's just sitting and waiting for Ocarina of Time. It's like, that's not how real fighting is. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Aaron, have you ever done sword fighting? Because I've done fencing. There is a lot of wait. If you have a shield, there is a lot of waiting.
Let me ask you boys this real quick. Is every complaint about Sequelitis due to the Zelda episode?
A lot of them actually are, I
Yep,
think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I figured. No, the Mega
you
Man
got me
1
there, sir.
was really, really good. Yeah, I mean, the Zelda one is what kind of kept him away from it going forward, and yeah, kind of sucks. I'm much more Ocarina than I am Link to the Past, or whatever the fuck it was called. Is it Link to the Past, this SNES one?
It's a Link to the Past,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I was sad that I didn't like that one as much as I thought I would on Return Visit.
Yeah, but I'm gonna just this is why I'm always gonna give Aaron a shout out, because I watched the Mega Man versus Mega Man X1 so many times, and I think a lot of how I analyze games, and a lot of us actually who do analyze games probably took inspiration to not only learn something but be entertaining while you do it, because it was very refreshing after everybody was trying to copy James Rolfe. So I'm going to give Sequelitis a fair shout out on that.
Yeah, that's
front.
fair. Like,
I didn't realize until recently just how much like a lot of the Sonic fan base absolutely despises the Game Grumps, and I'm just like, I mean, at the end of the day, they're entertainers, and yeah, they're goofing on Sonic a lot, but it's an easy franchise to goof on.
And
it is.
Yeah, they just make it easier when the franchise gets mad at them. He's a fucking legend on the internet. I don't care. He gave us Chaotix Awesome. For fuck's sake.
Yeah. It's I can't hate the man that created the Pokey Awesome videos.
But no, I think a lot of it does come down to the Zelda one, at least for me, because there's some things that are just, like I said, for the fighting thing, when he literally said, this isn't how it actually works, I'm like, no, this is exactly how it works. No, please stop.
That's fine. But his overall
everything
point
else
was
is
like,
fine.
he's bored while he's playing the video game. This game should not be wasting my time like this. I got that point. I understand. I still enjoyed Ocarina more.
I love Ocarina of Time. I can't wait to review that.
It is such a... If you have not ever gotten the chance to play that game on 3DS...
best version.
Man.
I'm going
10 out of 10.
I don't like it.
No, you don't. What about it? You like?
It's too crammed, dude. It's too many buttons on such a tiny little machine. I like.
Hold on,
N64.
Nick, I have an idea. Use
Emulate
Citra.
it.
Play it on Citra. Citra has an HD filter that gets rid of the that gives it anti-aliasing for the game.
Sure, that's fine, and I'm sure emulation makes it a lot more fun. That's unfortunately very true for a lot of Nintendo handheld stuff.
It's true for
but
some
when
Sonic
I'm talking
games.
about how they presented it to me, what I had to spend $50 on, I thought it a little bit crammed. I will tell you this though, I did pick up, and this is Sonic related, I promise, guys. I did pick up a 3DS when they came out with that black and gold Zelda version, which is still sitting behind me. Dude, that is one of the sexiest systems I've ever seen. I love the design.
Talking about the one that came out for Link Between Worlds, or
no, that one.
No.
This one was Ocarina of Time 3D. A Link Between Worlds had it was 3DS XL. That one had the kind of matte gold finish. Majora's Mask had the
have that one too.
Glossy gold. I got that one too. I hunted that shit down like a dog. Like I was going after that.
So my original 3DS was the Ocarina of Time one that Nick was mentioning, and I loved everything about it except the gloss finish. I don't like gloss finish on. I don't like anything with a gloss finish that I have to put my hands on, because it's just gonna get fingerprints. And then my 3DS is actually the Link Between Worlds 3DS. So I never got the Majora's Mask one though. I never got the Majora's one.
Mine's Majora's Mask because I'm fucking biased. Because that's I don't.
But I did buy that to get Sonic Generations 3DS, so I did bring it back to Sonic, I promise, guys.
Oh, I've been playing that this week. I don't like it.
Yeah, don't blame you.
Yeah.
It's very mid. Very, very mid. It gets frustrating once you get away from the good 2D levels.
I remember Suris and Pup didn't agree with me on this. I don't like the physics in that game.
No.
I don't think it works well with the circle pad.
No.
It might work better with a D-pad, but it's harder to get to on a 3DS.
I played it. I played it with the D-pad primarily when I played it the first time, and I was using the original 3DS. Are you using your XL right now?
The new 3DS XL is the only one I have left.
Okay.
But yeah, and so I get that it might not be the ideal hardware to play it on, so it's hard to hold it against that. If it was designed for something else. But I do not like the physics in Sonic Generations 3DS, and it feels. I don't know, the midair momentum especially I feel took a hit. it doesn't feel right to me, and it doesn't help that the level design is kind of piss.
So,
That's
I know
fair.
we're talking Sonic. Are we just gonna stay on the tangent until we get Pup back?
I'm okay with that.
That's kind of what I was doing, yeah.
That's fair.
To be honest, as well, I don't think sometimes tangents like that hurt us terribly much.
No, look, people have fun. We're still talking Sonic.
Yeah.
Sonic. But
I worry that we're just going to be redundant when we do finally talk about. I mean, we are always going to be redundant. We're Sonic fans. What am I talking about?
Yeah, true.
It's fine.
we're already here. We're already here. We've dug our own grave. We literally said, let's do a Sonic podcast where we talk about Sonic things. Let's try very, very hard to never be redundant while talking about one subject for a year.
Something's definitely bleeding. All right. So, anyways, so it's an interesting opinion, Wallace, because I and a lot of people found that 3DS Sonic Generations does have one of the most accurate versions of classic Sonic's physics.
I disagree entirely.
I
like
don't
having
think
just
that's
binged
something
those
you
games.
can disagree on, though. It is objectively one of the most faithful replications of classic Sonic's physics.
That is not objectively correct. You might be feeling that way. That is not objectively correct.
I don't know,
Not
I
at
think-
all.
I think most people agree with me on this, man.
Most
don't.
people are
Wait,
wrong then.
but-
Again, I'm binging those fucking games right now. I know the physics of classic Sonic on the Genesis.
Me too.
3DS does not match up.
I don't know, man. It's definitely closer than like the console generations.
I think. I mean, let's just for the sake of both parties here. Pup, are you just talking like in terms of these other emulations of classic Sonic that were not classic Sonic? Like you mean like Forces and console generations?
Yeah, so there's that. It's also, I'd say, closer to it than like say Advance. And
I do.
I don't want to say Mania. It's not closer than although Mania. The thing with that is it's different, but it's improved. You know,
I was gonna say Mania. I still think counts just because it's like it is still running off a different engine and everything
Yeah,
like that. And I
it
think
is.
that they captured physics
Yeah.
perfectly in that
I
game. That
think
might be
that
the
the-
best he's controlled.
I think the physics are different in Mania from what they were in the classics, but I think they are very fuck. I can't fucking talk right now.
I will-
Also, Webster, no, there wasn't blood. Don't worry. But like to be fair, for anyone that is concerned about blood in their poo, it could just be hemorrhoids, so don't worry.
So it's just like to kind of find like the middle of the road here. It is still just all of our opinions here. I would agree that 3DS physics are more in line than the console games, but I would also say that since Mania exists and since Sonic Team has fucking Sonic in their name, yeah, now that time's passed, I'd say it's inexcusable. Like, sort it out. For fuck's sake. You guys own this IP, you own these engines. It should have played
I mean,
much closer
I
to
would-
the original.
I would be really interested to kind of hear your thoughts after a recent play, Nick, as well. If you'd like to pick up
I need to
Sonic
go play
Generations
again.
3DS again and just play through some classic Sonic levels. Avoid the homing attack if you can as well. Like I
Oh,
think
yeah.
you will find it is a
Oh,
pretty
fine.
faithful version of his physics.
Well,
I would also say use the D-pad for definite. Like it's so much better with the D-pad.
Yeah, I know, and I'll have to jump back in. Like every time I've picked it up to try it again, it does like well, this is playable, this is fine. It's just
The game is poo, but like it got the physics right, I think.
well, I think we should probably save that till after we're all a little bit fresher on the game itself. But do we have anything else we want to talk about in terms of the show?
I mean, I guess there's not a lot of ground to cover. We know so little about it.
I'll be
Yeah.
honest, I really just want to talk about Batman at this point.
Oh my
So-
I
God.
get you, dude. I really do too.
Can't. I haven't
I know,
seen it.
I know. We're not gonna do it while you haven't seen it.
But yeah,
Go see it.
I'd say, I mean, we've had a pretty civil conversation today, which is very unsettling.
Very rare.
All right, you know,
Let's
Why are
okay,
we
one
getting
thing-
along?
one thing that can be brought up, Batman related, right? I don't understand why people think Christian Bale is the best Batman.
I don't either. I never have.
Like
I
I've
think he's
always
my
just
preferred,
kind of,
but he's not my favorite.
But a lot of
or no,
people
he's not the
say-
best.
a lot of people often say, "Oh, he's the best one," and they say like, "Oh, I hated BVS because it didn't have Christian Bale and stuff." But I'm like, the thing about it is, I think the Christian Bale Batman movies were fantastic, but Christian Bale was easily the worst part of them.
Joker carried the entire trilogy, and he was only in one movie. Yeah,
but also just like I just think Christian Bale was a solid Bruce Wayne, but a fucking terrible Batman.
I would agree with
I
that.
thought he was an awful Bruce Wayne.
I didn't mind him as it's so like for me, I like Michael Keaton's Batman, but his Bruce Wayne is kind of not as much as Bale's to me. But I like Bale's Bruce Wayne, and I cannot, especially that fucking voice thing. I cannot.
Thing was stupid.
The voice is terrible, and also I just don't think he's got the body for it. He just doesn't carry the physicality right, and it's partly down to the costume, but it's also just like when you see him in battle, it just looks so lame.
Who's that guy that does the voice in the animated series in the Arkham games?
Oh, Kevin Conroy.
Oh, your best fucking Batman voice. Holy shit.
Yeah, he always has been. He's not just the games. He's Justice League. He's Batman the animated series.
So boys,
you don't need to clarify that. Like, I think everyone knows that Kevin Conroy is like the longest standing Batman in the most projects.
Guys, this is a Sonic podcast. Let's get back on.
Oh shit! Right.
People like our tangents, and look, there's engagement.
We've been going for an hour and a half. We should get to super chats and carry on with our day.
Yeah.
Fine.
Might be a short one today.
We'll do the fucking money thing then. In that case, well, should we throw up that 4DX poster real quick as well, just to show people that?
I can. There's not a lot to derive from it, but I mean, we can at least mention it.
I mean, like there's a new poster on there. It's Sonic zooming towards the camera.
He's on water as well. He's running on water, so that means Adabat confirmed Unleashed remaster coming soon.
Anyway,
I didn't know he was Jesus.
So, Pup, you want to start with our super chats?
Yeah, let's begin. So the first one is from Sony with $2 Canadian. Says manifesting a Deadly Six series. Let's go. Fuck you, Sony. I mean, the old punchline, if it's like the IDW one, right?
I am glad that the Deadly Six are being better represented in the comics. I would like a long break from them.
How many times are we going to repeat this fucking point?
Yeah.
We've, I like what they did with him recently, or with the Zeddy in general, but like, that's enough for now.
Yeah. All right, Aiden F sent us $10. I wish I had something funny to say, but raking leaves for 5 days straight has killed me. Money.
That was quite funny, to be honest. Like, just ending up money. So good job, man. You did it.
Financial gain.
Also, I do appreciate the profits.
The next one we have here is from our Paul Jamal.
There it is.
I'm never going to say it the way you want me to.
Doesn't matter.
Thank you for the 5 US. Have a great B Theory day, everyone. Nick Milk X Suris Milk rules. Wait, I have a question.
I like that it's just stirring it up together now. Like he's shipping our two milks.
He's created a cinematic universe of Sunset City, and now he's making the Avengers event.
At this point, I have to ask Nick, very important question. What happens if we cross those streams?
I mean, then we get Trey into a cup and see what happens. Or a jar, whatever. Wayne, it's your turn.
All right. Let's see. Cecilia.
Cecil, Caesar the gardener, okay?
Cecil, with $5. Afternoon, guys. Work as usual. Good work as usual. Tax return time. So I now have too much power.
She shills Cecil's by the seashore.
Cecilia thinks my psoriasis.
Oh no!
Little Family Guy joke for you there. So now I get the privilege of saying our pal Jamal, who sends in $5. Here's a donation for next month until Sonic Movie 2 comes out. Hope we get a gameplay on Sonic Origins soon. You bet.
You and me both, Jamal. We should probably.
It's cancelled
next week.
Just assume it's cancelled.
Have we done it? We haven't done an episode just kind of discussing what we'd want.
Where the
from
fuck
Origins.
is Sonic Origins?
We need to. I was thinking about that, right? Like while I was putting up all of our episodes.
That's a short podcast, though. Don't ruin it. You know,
it is. But like I was thinking about our titles yesterday while I was putting up all of our shows. And yeah, I got to where the hell is Mania 2? I'm like, oh shit, we're really gonna have to do this with the classic games. We're really in this timeline. Fuck, but that'd be a fun conversation. So if you guys want to see that soon, let us know, because we got some fun ideas for the future. All right, you did Jamal. Ledric, once again, being way too generous. Thank you. With $50. Wahoo.mp4. Yeah, Konoha is pretty great.
Has our friend still got our NFT as their not Dreambone, because they fucking stole it. I mean, Lederick, the one who actually owns the NFT.
I don't know.
I want to check.
I'll
go. Yeah, Suris, proceed.
The next one we have here, and I need to pull it up because I got a phone call randomly. I have no idea why. So which one are we on real quick?
Black Yakuza 94.
Black Yakuza, thank you very much. One we have from Black Yakuza 94. Thank you for the $2. Blam, blam, blam. Archie Chads know these words.
Jesus Christ.
I don't get it.
It's... Man, they went wild in that fucking comic. My goodness. Yeah.
We got
Wayne.
We got Adzinko with 5 Yera.
What the? It's a pound.
Is that a pound?
That's a Great British Pound Sterling.
An L with a squiggle. That's 5.
How is it that the rest of the world knows what a dollar is, but you guys can't even figure out what a fucking pound is?
It's
Leave
like
me
a
alone.
Because most currencies are measured against the dollar, not the pound.
Like leaks.
Yeah, fucking America owns the world. Fucking read the goddamn thing, Wallace.
Okay. Would highly recommend watching Generator Rex for a better idea of what Prime could be like. Actually, I would kind of agree with that. I have seen a bit of Generator Rex, and it's not that bad.
Is that a dinosaur thing?
No.
Well,
that would
then
be
I'm not
an
watching
awesome name for a robot dinosaur, but it is another kid that dresses like me.
Oh, not another fucking kid that dresses like... Is it possible, Nick, that maybe you just dress like a kid?
I think it's more possible that the styling of my jacket was a motorcycle jacket of the early 2000s, made popular by Wolverine, and everybody else used it.
I think it's also it's also helped by the fact that in real life the thing is leathery, whereas like a lot of people are probably imagining it as cloth. Anyways,
that's a big problem.
Well, just draw it with a little shine on it or something. Anyways,
a little shine on it.
No, it does. Shut up. Anyways, Black Yakuza 94 sends $5. See, I know what that is. Have you guys actually talked about your thoughts on the animated Sonic shows and ranked them? We haven't. No,
I haven't watched all of it yet. I don't think it's.
I would have to catch up.
In our last episode with Gilly, though, we did have a moment of enthusing over screenshots of Robotnik from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and things got very out of hand, and I loved it.
No,
still my favorite episode.
Got out of hand.
No, we all got. Come on, man.
You were the only one sharing them.
I was sharing them, but like Nick was trying to make points about whatever the fucking subject of the episode was, and we were all just sitting there snickering at these pictures of Robotnik's nipples.
All right, Nick. I think you're up next.
Let's see. That would be Dream Boatin' with $2. Thank you, Dream Boatin'. Where's the pup poo cam?
I don't look. Here's the thing: it wouldn't get used anywhere near as often as a Suris poo cam, so it's not as much of an investment. You got to factor in.
Wrong.
You got to factor in risk reward here. Like Suris, he poos a lot and he farts a lot, and it's really lovely stuff. So I feel like we need to really get in on that nice velvety poo that he makes. My poops aren't special. Okay. Anyways, moving on.
Just screaming new topic, and I agree.
Next one we have is from freaking Dream Boatin' again. Thank you for the $5. Guys, Pup always says Jamal like that because he's from the Paul region.
That's actually... You need to pronounce that pal, effectively.
No, I don't.
No, because you're not trying to rhyme it with Jamal, so like you just say it's pal.
But I'm rhyming it with Jamal.
You don't need to rhyme with Jamal.
Jamal and Paul.
Jamal is not literally in the sentence. Jamal's not a part of this sentence.
It is. Guys, Pup always says Jamal like that because he's from the Paul region. It's in the sentence.
Oh yeah, my reading and listening comprehension
read.
My reading comprehension just went out the fucking window there, didn't it? Jesus.
Wayne, you want to take Mr. Krabs?
right, Mr. Krabs,
You want
$4.99.
Do you want some of that secret formula?
Wayne, do you want to take Mr. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
Well, it's about to get dirtier. Read the thing.
Arr, puppy boy, I'd like to purchase your secret stash of Sonic XXX magazine with a rouge body pillow, or you're fired.
Oh, happy to oblige, Mr. Krabs.
God fucking damn it.
I'm coming.
What the fuck is this? All right, let's get that out of here.
Yep. Thank you.
Get that out of
How do
here.
I ban them?
I've done it. I got
Okay.
it. I got this covered.
Fantastic.
Although I would like to see some naked HD online strips without clothing, please. I love it when people are naked without clothes. So much better than just ordinary naked, am I right?
Oh,
The All right.
wow, we rolled through those pretty quick, guys. We've it's been a lower energy show, but we actually had we stayed on point and had a discussion. What happened?
Yeah, we
here?
did. We
What is
died.
going on?
That was a smooth ass podcast. What the fuck?
We were replaced by people who actually know how to run a podcast.
We've been
No,
replaced
no.
by robot duplicates of ourselves
we
that have
were
been designed to
civil.
stay on topic and not fight.
Yeah.
Peace in our time. We need it right now.
It's so boring.
Oh my
I
god.
fucking hate this podcast. I quit.
All right.
I'm done.
So,
This is the last
well-
episode, guys.
Channel Pup, what are you up to right now on your channel? Or other stuff?
Well, I'm definitely going to be doing a review of the Batman soon, that's for sure. It's going to be quite a bat-centric month going forward, so if you like Batman and you want to fuck some bats, come fuck some bats with me.
All right. Thank you for that. Nick, what are you up to, buddy?
We're gonna finish up Sonic Speed Reading's current arc. We just finished up that audio. It's up for my patrons. The show itself should be up in just a couple days for everybody. And on top of that, I've already finished up my first script and everything for Mecha March Madness. So expect 2 videos this upcoming week, and expect to see these boys in some upcoming fun things this month. We got a crazy, crazy marathon coming up. So yeah, look forward to that.
All right. And Suris, how about you? I know you're busy.
I am locked in eternal torment.
Yeah. Care to elaborate?
Is the
I'm in the
Wi-Fi
middle of a
signal better
subathon,
now?
and I have been locked in a subathon, and I have not been allowed to leave for any amount of time outside of my birthday stuff.
Yeah. Oh, happy birthday, by the way. Everybody say happy birthday to Suris.
No, please don't.
Happy
Everybody.
birthday, Suris. Happy birthday. Let's make it
Now,
really awkward.
and now
as
I'm
well.
one
Let's do
step
it in a
closer
really-
to the end.
a nasty,
Congratulations.
nasty way.
Congratulations.
Are we these assholes that work at the pizza parlor who don't like their job and have to stand around
Happy
and clap?
birthday, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do that fucking cartoon royalty-free birthday song because for some reason cartoons never use the real thing.
Because they can't. Yeah, it's weird.
Is it really
It's copyrighted.
copyrighted?
It
Is
is.
it actually copyrighted?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Uh-huh.
Happy birthday, sirs.
I'm gonna be
Now
sitting
you're a
across
little
the
older.
restaurant.
You
Can't
are
actually
one
make
year
out what
close
they're
to
saying.
death.
I don't
Oh
know
my
why they
God.
scream that in restaurants. Can you actually understand what they're saying? They're just over on the other end. Yeah! And then it's horrible. I hate it. Don't do that to people.
Yeah. And I'm also doing some stuff. It's been slower than I wanted it to be, but I did put together a highlight reel for our Sunset Arcade, which is I think what we're officially calling when we do our gameplay streams and stuff like that. We'll be trying to get more of those out soon on my own channel. I am also working on a review of Sonic 2. It might be a little shorter than I was originally going to try to create it. I feel bad for doing that considering how long it's been since I made the first one, but it's just kind of how it rolls out for right now, and I'm working on getting some more reviews out soon after that. So, gentlemen, anything else?
When we inevitably all meet up for our US road trip, we're going to go to some restaurants and eat out and stuff, right?
Yeah, why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell him it's Nick's birthday,
Oh, no.
even when it's not his birthday. It's just going to be hilarious to watch. I'm going to film it.
I mean,
We should
I'll be
save up
angry,
and-
but I'll get free ice cream, so it's all right.
We should save
Also,
up
it will
and go
make for a
to-
great video, which will make a lot of ad revenue, and you can cry into a stack of cash.
We should save up and go to Texas de Brazil.
What they probably do, though, Pup, honestly, especially for us adults, if we're not little children, they probably want us to check IDs, so that might not go too far.
No way, Jose. Okay, right, fine. We're gonna have to work on a fake ID. But anyways, yeah.
What?
We're gonna
A
have
fake
to work
ID for every day. That's your plan.
I'll figure out when we're gonna go and eat out.
Uh-huh.
It's just going to be one of those situations like we're just going to ask everybody and see what works and what doesn't.
Well, you know, what'd be even better then is if I tell them it's your birthday, then you show them your ID, and then they say it's not your birthday and give it back to you, and then I'll just fucking film that. I don't know what's more humiliating.
Dude, I would
to be
love,
honest.
dude. I would play into it too, where they're like, "It's not your birthday." Wait, what? Hold on.
We
What
gotta get
the
you a
fuck?
balloon. We gotta get you a balloon and a hat before we go.
Can you? I would play into. I would play it so fucking seriously.
Let's do this. Okay, we got a plan. We got a plan.
Fantastic.
Yeah, guys, there will be a GoFundMe for our big US road trip. So yeah, fucking give us your money.
Oh my. All right. Well, with that, everybody, I think the sun has set on Sunset City. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you all for your generous donations, and we will see you next week.